Charlie, when the English Premier League begins to go the way that it's going and things are aligning in its way like this, it's important for clubs to get the points that they need to get, because Charlie, if you don't firm it up, you're in trouble. Last night, the Chelsea players have come out and made it known to everybody. Say, when it comes to Chelsea games, when it comes to winning Chelsea matches against Tottenham Hotspur, they are in a better position, better place, and they know how to beat Tottenham Hotspur than anybody in the game. And that was very, very impressive. Impressive performance from Enzo Maresca and then the Chargers now at the London Olympic Stadium. Impressive performance from the players themselves to understand exactly what's the impact of the game, what the game meant to the team and stuff like that. It was super. And a lot of credits to Enzo Maresca and Emranti. And the Premier League table has changed. We'll talk about how that game has changed the Premier League table, how games after that, the Liverpool game and also others have changed the Premier League table. We'll go on and talk about today's games, preview the Spanish La Liga games and Barcelona game, and of course talk about Football Club Real Madrid and how Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. This is your best place for football analysis on YouTube. Trust me. If you've not subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, and in the notification turn, do choose all, just so anytime that there is content, you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It is very, very, very imperative for somebody subscribe to the channel, just so anytime your content will drop, we'll be first person on Sabekabi. If you're an investor, that you are one of the best people that want to win money when it comes to betting, then in the description of the video, the codes are available. Over here, we do thorough research and analysis of the games, and they put up the codes for you. So go into the description of the video, pick up the codes and give yourself a big chance of winning. Every day, it's a win. Last night, we won 2 codes, one 10 odds, the other 6 odds, and that's exactly what we do. That consistently, at least 2 codes get to boom each day, and that's exactly where we're going. It happened on Friday, happened on Saturday. If you don't take advantage, then wara. We are entering Sunday. We'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and throughout the week over here of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So that's exactly what we do. Go in there, go and pick up the codes, and then go enjoy something. Of course, let me say a big thank you to Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. When it comes to spare parts in this country, the best place is Yesumo in terms of making things happen. Spare parts, car spare parts. I mean, yesterday somewhere I was just there. And then Dr. Kofi called me, said, Charlie Fee, my Toyota HRV, I have some problem with the bumper. And I said, oh, boss, let me just call Yesu right now. I called Yesu. Yesu said, oh, Fee, Mama, just a few minutes, let me put things together. Within minutes, he has sent me the things that he had, everything. And then he said, okay, this one, I'm going to get it right away for you. Once I send the details to Doc, they'll finalize, he gets it sent to Kumasi straight up for him. And that's exactly what Yesumo does for you. He's at Aboso Kind Post Office. Call him on 059-313-8221. 059-313-8221. Of course, on the other side, please call MOB Clothing. When it comes to clothes, I've said it several times. Now, MOB Clothing sent some things for me to go and give to Richardo on the show. And Richie looked dapper. He looked clean, super clean. The shirts that he sent to him, how Richie looked in the shirts, how solid Richardo looked in it. He looked very, very clean. And he said, okay, Charlie, then we need to say thank you to MOB. MOB, thank you very much for all you do in terms of the shirts, everything that you give to, the team wants a very big thank you. Please call MOB Clothing on 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708. Right now, let him take very, very good care of you in terms of your clothes. It's a to-do, a flower station, and then make sure that things go on. Very, 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 very. Where do we start from? Should we go to Spain and come back to England? Should we stay in England? Where do we go to? Where do we go to? But see, make sure that by now, you people have seen this video.
Kofi. This is in which game I have boy Mrepa
Forest man.
Me because of Fugu game we need Fugu.
The Zumia name ya
Fugu.
Umia
say bancha unfa Ukraine na ano apete
ne bakwe
no time for a game in your game back. Look, United, your problem no, it has been solved.
It's solved.
Obia or share Manchester United last season, and even you started this season, the early stages, can clearly see say you solve your problem. Defensive wise, then you
yeah.
This is why your games now you defend it very well.
Okay.
Adia ba konso pa na han say you create chance by intimidation. Yeni mo for no mutimi je.
I'm more scorers.
Matthias Cunha obey na no she go now.
Obo.
Pasha say she goals.
Chairman.
Sasko the same thing. Mbuamo kura dey say afa no hu say the Mbuamo aye na ehwe no Brentford no.
Obugum.
Now ye hu Mbuamo.
Yes, any last season there now Nottingham Forest 1-0-3-2-2-1.
No.
Eshondaichu.
We solve our problem.
Eshondaichu. That for me that's the only difference. In Kekatini na Kenya problem. If it was Ange Postecoglou,
I know.
easy win for United.
Yeah,
my problem is Eshondaichu.
Anyway.
Enyeshi.
You are going to beat them.
United straight win.
Win.
Hey.
Win. Ya bought draw cram and the mama momentra.
Video. Yeah, that is video of Richard Smidonko telling everybody, oh, when it comes to Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, the Ombeshe, we are better than Chelsea. This animal. I kept on telling Rich, Sean Dyche, Nottingham Forest, too. Enye Ange Postecoglou, enye even any other manager that can work. It's not a Graham Potter team. It's not a ball-sided, team or you two. Focused on holding on to the ball and passing and those things. Those are the things that United thrive against. United says, oh, see a both draw crap moment. Now, according to what Richard said in that video, once I entered the studio, I told Richard, Charlie, one our kind. So just sack yourself. I won't say nothing. Just sack yourself. Go and sit outside. Open Kokotinech na Shribi. We don't even need any host. Kokotinech na Shribi. My analysis you can come back. Why? No, can be. Everything is going to be fine, and that's exactly what I keep on telling him. Manchester United are in a good place in terms of the kind of football that they are playing, but to be very honest, they are not there yet, and games like this are always going to test Manchester United. They're going to test their resolve in terms of how well they play their games, how solid their team is, all of those things. It's always going to be difficult when you're playing very, very difficult matches like this. Sean Dyche teams are always very physical, very combative, very difficult for you to go in and then get a result against them. And of course, Manchester United did not happen. Of course, I'm sure just at the time where United dropped points against Nottingham Forest, his prayer was that, any Chelsea son dropping points against team, Tottenham Hotspur or Horn. I've seen something from the Chelsea players. I said it in a pre-match analysis, the Chelsea players essentially have shown time and again that they have no respect for Tottenham Hotspur. Not like no respect, but they feel like this is a place where anytime they go, they will get results. Like it's easy peasy for them when so they become their nemesis. And yesterday was clear. When they go there, it's not as if they just go there thinking that will happen, but they go there, they put in a shift and then they get that job. They get that happening. And if you look at the game that Chelsea played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I think it is the best pressing performance I've seen Enzo Maresca and Chelsea play in a very long time. It was a man-to-man press. I will explain that into detail how Enzo Maresca used the extra +1 and used a certain trigger from deep areas to set up the man-to-man press, and how Maresca conceded something to Tottenham Hotspur just to get the other thing. It was one of the best things that I could see Chelsea do in that regard, and then using the ball distribution ability of our friend Robert Sanchez, somebody that people have said he's not good enough. And if you go to Instagram, you look at what the Chelsea players have seen. Romeo Lavia said somewhere in London. No. It was Wesley Fofana said somewhere in London. Romeo Lavia said it was a training ground. Malo Gusto said home sweet home. Literally saying that if it's about the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium they are, then it's not a place where Chelsea are worried about. When they go there, they will always go there and go and get results. It is easy for them to go there and then go and get results when they are playing against team friend Tottenham Hotspur. In the games that are going on from there. After the game, I came to talk about the importance of Maresca managing the game, and I saw people on Twitter and a lot of social media places saying that, okay, why didn't he start Estevao with them? Why didn't he start Jimmy Gates? Why didn't he start Joshua Kofi Achampo? This is a big game for crying out loud. You don't need to throw a champion into this game. You don't need to necessarily start a champion into this game. You build a champion. It is step by step. And you see, people forget things so easily. I saw Andre Santos in that game against Brighton and Hove Albion, where people starting a player in games back to back, especially young player. You need to manage them. You need to psych them to let them understand that the fact that you are starting doesn't mean you are there yet. You need to be patient. Look at Maggie. People call for Maggie starts. the last time out. McGee went on to go and start against the last game at home against Sunderland or so. It wasn't a good performance for McGee. So it is not as it is. People just make it look like as if it is 1 + 1 is equal to 2. That's not what it is. That is the football manager that looks at these players, watch them, talks to them, and plans with them, analyze games for them, and knows who will fit certain for what reason. The game that Chelsea won yesterday is a game that was won on the off-the-ball superiority of Chelsea, not the on-the-ball superiority. Because a couple of things happened. One, Tottenham Hotspur did not have the technical strength to play through Chelsea's man-for-man. In fact, the most technical person that was in that Tottenham Hotspur team that could beat his man was also man-marked by another aggressive person. So it was literally impossible. And that was Mohamed Kudus. If you look at technicality across the Tottenham Hotspur team, Tottenham Hotspur did not have the best ball-playing centre-back in the team. So Mickey van der Ven is a good ball-playing centre-back, but he's not the best. Danson is not the best. He's not even good at all when it comes to ball-playing ability. Vicario's distribution is not the best in that regard. Now, if you come to the middle, Pap Matsa is good, but he's at best the ball carrier in central areas. Bergval, Bentancur, and then Xavi Simons are all. Xavi Simons is a ball carrier, but those passing that will play through the pass and then be a magnet to pull players through them. This is something that Tottenham Hotspur did not have. When you go into attack, Mohamed Kudus, I think they played Randall Colomwani and then somebody else up top. You could tell these are not players that have that technical ability. What Chelsea did was that in the defense, play with Wesley Fofana, somebody who is an aggressive centre-back, and nobody can take anything away from Wesley. I've said it several times. The best days for Chelsea last season had Wesley and Levi Cole at the heart of defense. It's as simple as that. These are Chelsea's best centre-back pair. One a ball carrier, one a passer, one an aggressive centre-back, one a calm sweeper. Even to an extent, Levi Cole had to learn the ability to be an aggressor when Wesley Fofana was out of the team. And that is the best way to manage things. I say that Wesley Fofana's undoing was not trusting Enzo Maresca last season when he got injured. When Maresca said, see, forget about it and rest. Let us recoup the energy. Let us not force you back. He came back, got injured again, and elongated his return back onto the field of play. Now, if you look at the game against Wolves, Maresca did not let him play a single minute, knowing that he would let him play. And for me, that was the time I knew that Maresca was going to play Wesley Fofana and was going to come and play in games like this. That is exactly how you manage games. That is exactly how you prepare for matches like this. That is exactly how you let everybody know that you're a good player. And Wesley was brilliant. Wesley was brilliant. He was the main guy. He was the one that was going to make the difference. Aggressive centre-back stepping up. Because if you listen to Thomas Frank, his post-match press conference, Thomas Frank mentioned that the game was man for man. Both teams pressed man for man. I'll get into it into detail for you. Both teams pressed man for man. Chelsea pressed man for man. Tottenham also pressed man for man. But a few things were different. Well, when two teams go against each other man for man, it comes down to the superiority of the quality. So if Tottenham Hotspur are pressing man for man, do Chelsea have highly technical players that can play through that press? If Chelsea press man for man, do Tottenham Hotspur have the highly technical players that can evade those presses, that can play through those presses? So it was very important. And that is why for me, when Tottenham Hotspur starting lineup of João Paulinho, Bentancur, Lucas Bergval, and Pap Matsa was there, I was not worried. I wasn't worried because João Paulinho, there is a reason why João Paulinho will not succeed in a possession-based team. It's as simple as that. Paulinho will not succeed in a possession-laden team. I said it several times. Why? Because whilst he's a brute force, an aggressor, and then a ball winner, he's not good on the ball. So he was not even seen on a day where João Paulinho was standing and Moses Caicedo was standing here. João Paulinho is taller than Caicedo, but then Caicedo literally overshadowed him and won the Man of the Match award. And that tells you the importance of being technical whilst also being aggressive. And that's exactly what Moses Caicedo has over him. I wasn't worried about that brute midfield. Again, Maresca understood that this was a game where he needed certain level of control, certain element of surprise, and certain element of calmness in the danger zone, which is the middle of the park, because that was what was important. And he also needed to free Enzo Fernandez. Now, why do I say he needed to free Enzo Fernandez? When you are pressing man for man, you don't want your number 9 to be the leader of your press. You don't want your number 9 to be the one that steps up to go and press. No, you don't want that. You want somebody from deep to step up to go and press. Now, it was a double pivot on paper of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. But then Enzo Maresca decided to do Reece James Caicedo as the double pivot on paper and then push Enzo Fernandez up top. Now, Enzo Fernandez's job was brilliant. And see, Fernandez is beginning to get back to the World Cup form, the Club World Cup form that everybody knows him for. Rolling the ball under his feet, pressing, being aggressive. After the game, Maresca said that the best midfielder in the world is Moises Caicedo. Everybody sees what Moises Caicedo does. But you don't see what Enzo Fernandez does. You don't see what Fernandez does. Fernandez was the extra overload on the left-hand channel every time. So every time the ball went to the left where Alejandro Garnacho or Cucurella was, for Cucurella to come up, Garnacho to come up, the job was that for Chelsea to win the +1 in that area, Fernandez has to be there. He has to constantly pop up in attacking zone in the left half space, provide an option, play the wall, pass through, make sure that he is that guy in that area. Very important. Now, when Enzo Maresca decided to play Reece James and then Malo Gusto, people ask questions that, why are you playing Reece? Why are you playing Malo Gusto? Why are you not starting Estevao Willian in the team rather to make sure that, okay, Estevao has been playing well, he continues with the form that he has had. Then I kept on telling people that there is no need to make too much noise about some of these decisions because games like this are won without the ball. Now, look at what Maresca did. Maresca took up a very sensible decision and a smart one at that to use Enzo Fernandez as the high line presser. So because he wanted to press Tottenham Hotspur man for man, immediately the ball went into the feet of Kevin Danson. The job of Enzo Fernandez was to press. Now, that Enzo Fernandez press trigger had a cascading effect. Cascading effect, HSA, was started so corner, a switch, marker to follow up. Say almost Bambenga or Majuman Bambe press it, be winning ball on a fast mom. So immediately Enzo Fernandez stepped up to go and press Kevin Danso. You see that Kevin Danso is now worried. He plays the ball back to Abrantes friend Vicario. The ball goes into the path of Vicario. On the right hand side, Mickey van der Ven wants to go and receive the ball. Abrantes friend Pedro Neto is closing in on him. On the central area, on the left hand side, Abrantes friend Pedro Porro would love to open up to receive the ball in that area. You see Abrantes friend Alejandro Garnacho has attention on him to go and do that job also from there. Again, you watch Abrantes friend of Joao Pedro central in the middle of the park because Joao Paulinho is trying to receive the ball from there. That is the job of Joao Pedro. Now, for a lot of players, a lot of teams like let's say Arsenal, like Manchester City, you can have Rodri receive the ball, come deeper and receive the ball in the central area, and then play a wall pass back to his goalkeeper. That will open up some more space. So you could see that Abrantes friend Rodrigo Bentancur was beginning to drop deeper to come and receive the ball, realizing that, okay, everybody was in a man-for-man press right now. It was difficult for Chelsea to receive the ball. Fine. But then just when in the first frame, you don't see Rodrigo Bentancur's marker. Now, just when Rodrigo Bentancur was beginning to step out to come and receive the ball, there was Reece James right behind him. And the plan for Reece James to get behind Rodrigo Bentancur is to make sure that in a game like this, he steps up, he prevents Bentancur from receiving and turning, because Bentancur is also a good player. Although he's not particularly a controlling six, a deep line playmaker, he is more of a box-to-box aid of a sort. But again, he gave them that option to come and receive the ball. So you can see in this second frame that Tottenham Hotspur players, there's Kevin Danso, there's Vicario, there's Bentancur, there's Mickey van der Ven, there is Joao Paulinho, and then on the lower left, there is Pedro Porro. So we are talking about 6 players in that area. Now, Chelsea decided that in this area, and that's one of the things I told you, that Enzo Maresca decided to give something away to Tottenham Hotspur to take something. What he gave away to them is that whilst he wanted to go man for man here, he decided that he was going to give them a -1 in this first phase of press. So that when he gives them a -1 here, in this -1 that he has given them, he is going to get a +1 just in case Vicario wants to go long. And Chelsea did the opposite. Tottenham Hotspur did the opposite when Chelsea were press man for man in their area. We'll talk about that as well. So the ball bounces off Bentancur and then goes back to Goes back to Kevin Danso. Now, at this point in time, Tottenham Hotspur are winning it 6v5 against Chelsea. Now, Chelsea are okay because that's the plan. Let us be more aggressive. Now, that's the thing with pressing. You either win a press with numerical superiority, or that is not psychosocial. There is, or the intensity of the press. The press is supposed to be more aggressive, supposed to be more physical. They're supposed to want it more. Chelsea were more aggressive, more physical in this area to win the ball from them. So, and the plan is that so that once they want to go long, because if we come and do 6v6, they can have 6v6. It means that they have 4 more outfield players, right? Yeah, they have 4 more for out. So it becomes a 4v4 in the Chelsea area. So you realize that in this zone where you've seen all of these Chelsea players, there's no Maresca Caicedo. So Moise Caicedo was the smoke screen, was the final shield for Chelsea, just so the ball goes long and bounces off. He doesn't allow Pap Matsar to win the second ball. He doesn't allow what's his name, Xavi Simons to carry the ball forward. He doesn't allow he doesn't leave Mo Kudus next to Marco Correa alone, and he goes there to come and help the team. That was the tactical setup brilliance from Enzo Maresca and his team. To the extent that Chelsea were able to force Tottenham Hotspur to the wide area. Another thing that was part of the trigger when it comes to the press was where Chelsea were willing to force Tottenham Hotspur to. So if they force them into the corner or into the wide area, then Chelsea are comfortable. They don't mind. Now they can commit. Kudus will come, Caicedo will come with another Colomwani. Everybody will step up, even to the extent that there were times that Colomwani will step up centrally and then he'll follow him. This is something that Chelsea wanted to do against Bayern. They failed it on 2 levels. The 2 centre backs, Tosin Adrabioyo and then what's his name, and then Trevor Chalobah, did not have the pace enough to follow Harry Kane. And that's I keep on saying that. For me, Bayern's biggest test this season will come when they have a team that is so aggressive in their press, so much so that there is somebody willing, confident, and comfortable enough to follow Harry Kane deep, even if he's going to receive the ball at the edge of his own 18-yard box. To be very aggressive with him, he will stop Harry Kane from playing, and that is exactly where they turn it around. And Maresca was spot on with this plan, knew that this is the best way to get out of Tottenham Hotspur. And like I was saying earlier, the people that kept on asking questions about why he didn't start Estevao Willian, Estevao will not put up that defensive performance that Joao Pedro put up. I can understand when people say that when Estevao came on, he made the right decisions and the tempo of the game grew. That is great. But football is never perfect. It's not a perfect game. It's about risk reward. On the day, Enzo Maresca wanted defensive solidity, aggression, and an intensity. Something that maybe Estevao has it in him, but he has just not gotten to that point in the English Premier League game, especially in a derby. And he needed to manage him for a game like that. And that is why I keep on saying that Maresca is just brilliant. He's just intelligent. He's just a smart dude who understands how to make decisions, when to make those decisions, and then the importance of making them, and not caring about, how when everybody says this or that, he gets worried about it. He's never worried about that. He goes ahead and he makes those decisions. And I think Estevao was a star decision making when he came on. I think that has improved, honestly. There was a ball where he squared its back, and I smiled because Estevao is growing. He's understanding the English way of playing. He's understanding that the best dribblers in the world are not just dribblers. They are magnets. They pull players onto themselves to create space for others. And that is why I've said for the last few months that Mohamed Kudus is playing his best football under Thomas Frank. He's not probably scoring 10-5, but in terms of being a pure dribbler, he's doing his job. Attracts players to himself and lets it go. But you see, because the game was 1v1, Chelsea could afford to leave Marco Correa with Moises Caicedo, with Mo Kudus alone, and we're okay. But that's what Estevao was on. His cameo wasn't anything in front of goal, but in knowing the best pass to play and how he hold on to the ball, I think that Estevao was going to get to the top. Fofana, top class anticipation, reading of the game, stepping up into danger, and the interception was one of the best. And his reading plus athleticism and ball carrying, he's still Chelsea's top 2 centre backs when he is fit right now, as he's looking fit. Can't believe Chelsea lost him. Or very, very brilliant player. What injuries have done to Wesley Fofana is very, very worrying. But this is a player that will go far. He's a player that will go far. Cat scared of a Thomas Frank lead team. When you have Enzo Maresca, call me ignorant or proud, but you should have trust in your manager, and that's top 5 in the world. I've said it several times. I mean, the people that look at Enzo Maresca and forget what he brings to games is they just don't know who that guy is. He's a brilliant guy. Stepping up into midfield, playing the kind of football that he is going to play, showed everybody exactly what Reece James is able to give you. Playing in midfield, stepping up, understanding the game, giving Chelsea exactly what he wanted to give them was one of the best performances that I've seen from Reece James when it comes to playing in the English Premier League over the for themselves. So, I mean, congratulations to him. There are things that Enzo Maresca said post-match, but then let us leave that there and go and talk about others, because there are lots of things to also delve into and then talk about others as well. There is the conversation around Football Club Barcelona. There's conversation around Football Club Real Madrid, because last night, Madrid, big win for Football Club Real Madrid. And that was as important as it gets. That was as important as it gets in terms of a game where Madrid needed to stamp up their feet after a big win against Football Club Barcelona in their Gran Clasico. They needed to get a job done. They needed to make sure that in a game like that, they go into it and then stamp their feet. And then what a game it was for Kylian Mbappe, for other goalers setting up goals here and there, and everybody at Football Club Real Madrid. I've said it several times that Madrid are going in the right direction. They are going in the right direction under Xabi Alonso. And he is not doing that because he is Xabi Alonso. He has made too many changes. He's doing that because he's just doing the simple things. He's just, finding balance in the team and then getting them to get results over there. And that's exactly what, Football Club Real Madrid are doing in terms of the kind of football that they are playing. Ada Gola has 3 goals and 6 assists, 40 chances created for Real Madrid. What a player Ada Gola has turned out to be. Created 40 chances, the most chances created by a player in there. And centrally, he is net picking teams, he's controlling games, he's picking pockets, he's playing those simple pass in behind and then getting the job done. And 9 goal contributions from Ada Gola. Goal contributions for Real Madrid this season. Kylian Mbappe, 20 goal contributions this season. Vinny Jr., 9 goal contributions this season. Ada Gola, 9 goal contributions. Jude Bellingham, 4 goal contributions. Federico Valverde, Eder Militao, a lot of goal contributions over there. When it comes to the quality, too easy for you. Talking about Kylian Mbappe, and then of course Vinny Jr. and the kind of job that they are doing. And I like the fact that Vinny is slowly accepting that when it comes to the real boss at Football Club Real Madrid, maybe he just have to accept that it is Kylian Mbappe, especially at this moment that Mbappe is the real guy. He's the one that's going to be in charge of a lot of things, and working those things out is important. See, we are working on getting Jude into more dangerous positions. If you pay attention, the plays where he got the ball before his goal was very advantageous from him and allowed him to be comfortable. We need to focus on that and getting him close to those chances over there. And what a goal scored by our branch friend Alvaro Carreras. Excellent goal for our branch friend Alvaro Carreras. He did an excellent job, and he deserves all the plaudits. What it means in the Spanish La Liga table is that Madrid 5 points, and now it has gone to 8 points. And that game has now moved to Football Club Barcelona. They need to find a way to beat Football Club. Barcelona needs to find a way to win their game tonight. And yes, they are going to be in all sorts of problems on Real Madrid's form after a defeat in the Madrid derby. They've beaten everybody after Salah lost in the Atletico Madrid derby. Kirat, Almaty, Villarreal, Getafe, Juventus, Barcelona, Valencia. They've done a very, very good job against all of these teams that they've played against, since that very, very bad Madrid derby that they lost to Atletico de Madrid. And of course, they are right on top, making sure that they are getting the job done. But tonight, there is a big one, and there is good news for Football Club Barcelona. There is good news for Football Club Barcelona. There is good news for Hans-Dieter Flick. There is good news for the fans of Barcelona and everybody that's involved with the club, because Hans-Dieter Flick say the arrival of our brand friend Robert Lewandowski is in. That's exactly what he's saying. And of course, when all 3 players, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, and then Lewandowski are available, Barcelona are a new team. I've said it several times that the importance of Rafinha in that Football Club Barcelona team cannot be overstated. He is essentially the one that makes things stick. He is essentially the one that makes everything work for himself. He steps up and makes the difference largely than anybody. He makes things work out. He understands the game. He reads the game better. He's the one that pumps that intensity into that Barcelona side, runs those channels for them and make things work out for him. But Hansi-Dieter Flick said it's important. There is Dani Olmo who's returned, and that's why in front of Mundo Deportivo they call it reinforcement, because Dani Olmo is back in the team. Robert Lewandowski is back in the team also for Football Club Barcelona, and Flick wants to protect Lamine Yamal as a personnel on him, and that's exactly what they are seeing. And then it's going to be at the Montjuic where Elche comes in to come and play against Tima, a friend of Football Club Barcelona and there is going to be everybody right there. There's going to be Nake Pena is going to be in the team. On Ran Garcia's return is closer than ever. He has begun individual field training, handling the increased load with no issues. Despite his improvements, the club are very, very cautious with him. He's expected to start group training sections during this week. That's exactly what is happening to Abrantia Freno, Juan Garcia in that regard. And now we heard that there was a breakup between Lamine Yamal and Nikki Nicole, Lamine's girlfriend. Apparently there is a breakup. Hey, Jordi, I want to confirm that Lamine and I are no longer together. We haven't seen each other since I left Barcelona. We weren't going to make it public, but this situation has forced us to. I can confirm that there was no infidelity. If I was a victim of that, I would say it publicly, as I have before. And that's the thing with Nikki Nicole. Apparently, Monet Lamine Yamal, it's just a simple breakup for them. There were no infidelity according to Nikki Nicole. According to Lamine Yamal himself, he said that there was no infidelity. He and Nikki Nicole have just parted ways for the best, for the good of both of them. Lamine Yamal was spotted in Barca training wearing a small starship stickers on his face. They are not just for show, of course. He believes that he's a star. Lamine Yamal obviously is a star. He's a star. He's a star. Of course, Hansi-Dieter Flick will have Casado is going to be in Hansi-Dieter Flick in Fiifi-Manfred, of course, because of the injury of our branch friend Pedro Gonzalez. So definitely there's going to be a branch friend Marc Casado and a branch friend Frankie de Jong also back into it. It's going to be important when it comes to those two players coming in to come and get a job done. The job of Pedro Gonzalez will be done by Marc Casado and then Pedro and a branch friend Frankie de Jong and Fiifi-Manfred. Very, very important. Hansi-Dieter Flick says Lamine Yamal's positions, and right now the best way to get him back to his level in the position he normally plays in. Some situations or matches, it's fine that he doesn't play on the wings either. Also, from the inside, he's a great player and can be very, very versatile, according to Hansi-Dieter Flick. Naki is a great goalkeeper, of course. We have to put in a great performance to win the 3 points. Elche play very well, and we have to be a unit. The fans also need to have the feeling that we are giving them everything on the field of play, and that is exactly how they are going to support us, according to our branch friend Hansi-Dieter Flick. When Barca go into a game like this, they need to make sure that they go in to get the results. A new report from Mundo Deportivo claims that the Elche coach Eder Sarabia used players from clubs B team as sparring partners to simulate Lamine Yamal's movements ahead of Sunday's match against Barcelona. Despite this, Sarabia ruled out man marking the winger, focusing instead on limiting his paces and then comfort on the ball. According to the plan, is okay. Charlie, it looks as you said, Elche really want to stop Football Club Barcelona. Are they going to be successful? Is it going to happen for them? I don't know. I don't know whether team your friend Elche will be able to be successful against Tima, your friend Football Club Barcelona, in that very, very important game that they have to play. Because if they don't win, they are running away. They are running away. Madrid are running away with the trophy already. If you don't win, they are running away when it comes to what he has to do over there. With respect to the players, there was a Barca team and the Madrid team. They need to make sure say winning against Elche. It's not going to be an easy game, but then definitely it's going to happen for Elche. It's going to happen for Football Club Barcelona and all of them in terms of the quality that comes in all of that. It's very important, of course. So I see. Thank you very much for choosing us on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. See you. Bye-bye.